Hola YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino and I'm a wheel addict. Today we are going to talk about a very different frame. Yes, it is a UFS frame for aggressive skates, but it is very different. It's like if the symmetrics and the master blade had a son. Somewhere along these lines, but there's a lot more influence in other frames on the market to make this one. So let's talk about it. First things first, this frame is actually handmade in the Bavaria. And if you don't know what Bavaria is a region of Germany, which I was never very lucky with Bavaria. Actually, the first time I went to Munich, I ended up breaking my leg in 4 places, and every time that I went after, I ended up getting hurt. But that has nothing to do with this frame. So this frame is handmade in the Bavaria. It is made out of a solid block of this material, which I don't really know what it is, but it does feel the exact same material as this. This is the Symmetrics, once again. Symmetrics is the frame brand from Adapt Skates, and this feels a lot like that, but shape-wise, form-wise, is completely different. And it's like a mix of a lot of stuff that is on the market right now. I would say if you want to skate a skate that feels like the AN without using the AN boot, this is probably the closest, maybe better. Let's talk about it. So if you look at these screws that you have here, these triangles here, they're just like the old rollerblade TRS frames or even the trigger frames. They also have this triangle, and on the other side, you just need one tool to take the wheels out. I like that. I actually like that. Then it has these protections here around the screws, and these protections will obviously protect the axles, but at the same time, while you do sole tricks, will also allow you to slide only on the frame. And when you have such material like this is a very, very, very fast material frame. So, man, it just slides so good. That's awesome. Then these bridges that it has here, obviously in the middle it has a bridge, which is the edge block, but there's also bridges in between the first 2 wheels and the last 2 wheels. Again, just like the Symmetrics frame. And that makes this frame feel super solid. But then, when you look at the edge block, just look at it. It's like a very deep V. And I know that's one of those things that online, some people didn't really like it, the deep V, but every single person that skated it only said good things about it. And I'm one of those. I actually skated it. For this video, you might have seen that Mizu, that very low Mizu that I did. On any other skate that I know, if I was going to do a Mizu with the back foot so low, usually, if it gets into a not as deep and also not with this shape, it tends to go out. Obviously, the boot also touches, but it's very easy for the back foot to go out. Now, on this skate, because the edge block, it's not just very deep, but also thinner, it's like actually the best locking frame that I've skated. And I've skated a lot of stuff. Like, I really, really love this style of edge block. I love it. It just makes tricks so easy with the master blade. It's just awesome. But then you need to use very small wheels. Now, on this one, yes, you also have smaller wheels in the middle, and that's why I said it's like the son of that one too. It actually allows you to go to 55 millimeters in the middle, and front and back 60 millimeters. This does not feel at all like I'm using 55 millimeters, and that's because they are using a new system. I don't know, I think it's called Smart UFS, or if it's not, I'm claiming it. I'm gonna call it Smart UFS. So I take the wheel, it has aluminum washers, which is very important, but then, check this out. Basically, what happens here is that instead of the bolt coming out of the frame like in every other UFS skate, this is amazing. Basically, you see a hole in there, and then in that hole, you put this piece, and then this bolt goes flat on top of that. And that it's like the lowest you can do that I've seen until now It's at least the smartest that you can do using the UFS system and allowing you to use wheels, but they don't really feel like you're skating that size compared to other frames. So I'm using like 55 in the middle, but it kind of feels like I'm using flat 53. Not that you can actually use flat 53, but I did use flat 53 and flat 54 back in the day. I actually had a pro wheel that was a 54 millimeter wheel. It doesn't feel like I'm using 55, and 55 is already very, very small. Now, speed-wise, it doesn't really feel like a 55 because if you've skated any Wish frames, you know what I'm talking about. Like when you skate the Wish frames, you have 60 in the middle, or you have even 55s in the middle with 68s in the edges, front and back. And it doesn't feel like you're having those small wheels. They just roll fast. So yeah, I really like it. There's a couple of things that some people might not like. One of them is the price. This thing is sold for 160 euros. And in my opinion, it's totally worth it. But it's still a plastic frame and it's not as easy to get. As I said previously, this is handmade in Germany and it's made by one skater that works in, I don't know how you call it, like just shaping pieces. There's a name for that. This is made out of a solid block and it's handmade in Germany. So the guy that makes it is a skater and it's obviously not as easy for him to produce as many as if it was made out of a mold, you know? It's not just an injection mold. So it takes a lot of time to do. So it's hard to get. It costs 160 euros. As I just said, it's totally worth it, and it's a bit heavy. Compared to other frames on the market, it's a bit heavy. For me, that makes no difference at all. I don't really care if it's heavy or not. It does feel amazing when I skate. So this frame comes in 262 millimeters and 290, which is this one. It's very, very long. It's a super long frame, and I love it. The reason why I love such a long frame, it's because it gives me a lot of stability. It's harder to fall forwards and backwards. I have a lot of grinding space, and at the same time, because of the magic rock ring, it just allows me to turn very easy still. So it might be one of my favorite frames on the market, and I've been very, very lucky to try a lot of the frames on the market right now. I know there's some other new stuff coming, but until now, this might be it. We'll see. I'll keep trying other stuff. So if you want to see what other frames that are out there, how I like them or not, or if you have any doubts about this frame, anything that I can help you, well, drop me a comment. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. By the way, thank you so much for the 60,000 followers. It's crazy, 60,000. Like the biggest stadium in Portugal is the Benfica Stadium, and I don't know anything about soccer, but I know, I was actually Googling, it takes like 65,000 people. And it usually never goes to that number. Thinking that I can almost fill a stadium with the subscribers of this channel, it's crazy. Thank you all so much for the support. If you're watching this and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, now would be a good time to do it. If you want to support this channel, well, you can also press on that join button and you will have access to exclusive content just for the members. And other than that, just like I always say, don't ever forget why we all started skating. And that is because it's fun. Cheers and see you soon.
It got a little longer, so it seems.